It's probably time to open things up to audience questions.
Hi, thanks for coming. My question is, what happens when you guys had a disagreement on how the plot should go forward? Did you not?
Yeah, we didn't have a disagreement, and that I can recall. And if we did, I explained why I was thinking of something, and Gillian was very receptive to that when she disapproved of word choices. We changed them because I saw her point of view. There was nothing abrasive at all about it. That I recall.
I don't think there was anything plot-wise or anything. From the very beginning, it was important to me that we weren't stepping into the horror realm. That it had a more spiritual and metaphysical feel to it. But that was it, really.
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty much in sync on every level. So, yeah, there was nothing.
Hi, Gillian. What's the difference in how you follow book reviews compared to all the others?
For things that I'm involved in,
Right.
I do read reviews of things that I'm involved in, if they're good. I generally won't read them if they're bad. That's terrible. But, yeah. And book, it's funny because I thought that yeah, that basically is across the line. Yeah, I don't want to know, but I don't want it. I don't want to be influenced. Yeah, I want to feel like I'm doing this for myself, whatever this is, and feel confident and satisfied within myself in what I am doing, and not be influenced by what other people think about what I'm doing. That would imply that I care about what other people think that I'm doing, and on the one hand, I don't, but clearly I do. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Hi, Gillian. I haven't gotten to a point in the book to know if Caitlin's son's deafness is relevant to the story, but I was wondering whose idea that was, and if you are interested in deaf culture and sign language, and that part of the plot is very interesting to me.
It will be, as I recall, and tell me if I'm wrong, but there was I think it was important to me from the beginning that she was a single mother, and there was a moment when we were discussing. I need to talk about this without talking about spoiling. When we were discussing signing, and the way that signing might be helpful in the future in the story, even in the first novel, and that could be a link to Caitlin's understanding of a form of signing. And again, because I was casting it in my mind, the idea of having an opportunity to cast a deaf person in a film was exciting to me, in the same way that I'm excited by all the different cultures in the books, and how many people of color that we have, basically. People around the world who can be a part of our story, are a part of our story.
I wanted to go back to the research that went into this book. I mean, it's amazing. You go from Kashmir to Iran to Haiti to certain places at the ends of the earth. There's meteorites, there's synesthesia, there's deaf culture. How did the research process work? It must have been intensive.
It was for Claire, who's standing right over there. Basically, she was staying ahead of the events, so that when things were needed, how long does it take to fly to Iran from JFK? She had the answer for that. So she was an integral part of this team. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm about 100 pages into the book. I had two questions about the book. How did you do the research for Caitlin in terms of the hypnosis and the blackberries and the tapping of the ear? That's my first question. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you stole my question, lady. And my
my
second
job.
question was, which one of you had the idea to name the beagle Jack London?
Actually, Claire and I were working on this and recommending things that we should read, and we always like to honor some of the great authors on whose shoulders we stand, and so that was actually her idea. The things about tapping and all of that were from my own experience. Again, I've been doing martial arts for over half a century, and as an adjunct to that, there was a lot of chakra work and energy work and that sort of thing, and so we knew tapping as well, and hypnosis, we knew that that was going to be a part of it, a very valid part of it, an important part of it. So that was the origin of that.
In researching this book, did you consider the theory of the psychological social archetype of Carl Jung, that all consciousness globally is linked? And are you suggesting in the affectation of all the children that they're somehow linked by a larger consciousness? Were you inspired by that? I mean, Jules Verne raised that issue also. It's not common to only Carl Jung.
Jung was actually pretty strongly in my mind when we were doing this, also because of his theories of synchronicity. And you really did kind of crystallize one very important aspect of it. And again, without getting too specific, the way to combat chaos is through cooperation. And so everything you just said is completely relevant, but I can't say more than that without giving away novels 2 and 3.
First of all, I finished your novel earlier this morning, and it was very good. You've said in the past that you're kind of drawn to playing strong female characters, and I think that Caitlin O'Hara kind of encompasses a lot of that. And I was wondering what you consider to be the defining characteristics of a strong woman.
Well, we just did the panel on that. That was kind of funny. Yeah.
We just did a panel at Comic-Con called "Damsels in Distress Need Not Apply," and we're also talking about a couple articles that have recently been written about the term "strong woman" being as much an insult as a compliment, and I guess for me. Strong women are complex human beings, and just like real women are complex human beings. And my interest in creating a character for contemporary culture was to create a recognizable human being, a woman who is recognizable to me, who is like other women that I know in my life, and not two-dimensional or one-dimensional. And that includes many different attributes, including what some people might consider weaknesses. That everything that a human being is interesting and complex, and women are multifaceted, and the fact that Caitlin is a stable, single mother who is happy with her home life, happy with her professional life, and is not a stereotypical science fiction fanboy tart or feminist or whatever, the very often see, that she is just a well-rounded human. That is interesting to me, and something I would like to see more of in film and TV, and therefore why she is the way that she is.
Hear, hear.
I just wanted to say, add one thing to that. Gillian had that base pretty well covered. And the one thing that was never far from my mind, and I've said this before and will continue to say it, is that the modern science fiction novel was created by a woman nearly 200 years ago, a very young woman, Mary Shelley with Frankenstein. So we are playing in the sandbox that a woman created. And you just can't minimize the importance of that. And so it was always in my mind. So that's that.
Thank you very much. On that note, a huge thank you to Gillian Anderson and Jeff Rovin for coming out tonight. Thank you to everyone here for your wonderful questions.